After 60, the secret reason men crave intimacy with chubby women. There's interesting when you ask any man over 60 in a quiet, honest moment, he'll admit something surprising. The kind of woman who awakens his deepest desire isn't the one society praises or the one magazines glorify. It's the woman with softness, warmth, curves, comfort. But the chubby woman, the one who carries her body with ease, kindness, and real feminine presence, often ignites a craving in older men they don't dare confess publicly. So why? It goes far deeper than appearance. Welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 hidden reasons why men after 60 crave intimacy with chubby women. It's about the quiet, instinctive longing older men feel when a woman's softness brings them peace, grounding, and a kind of closeness they can't get anywhere else. If you appreciate these honest conversations about love and intimacy after 60, feel free to like this video, share it with someone who might relate, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss our weekly reflections. Now, let's step into the first reason men crave this kind of intimacy, a reason rooted in something far older than desire itself. Number 1. Her softness gives him a sense of safety he can't find anywhere else. At this age, a man is no longer looking for perfection or performance. He's looking for a woman whose presence helps him breathe easier, whose body feels welcoming rather than tense, whose softness reminds him of something human and real in a world that has become sharp and demanding. A chubby woman often carries a kind of warmth that settles him in ways he can't articulate. Her softness isn't just physical, it's emotional. It signals gentleness. It signals acceptance. It tells him he doesn't have to hold his stomach in, hide his aging body, or pretend to be stronger than he feels. When he lies against her, something inside him unclenches. The pressure to perform disappears. The expectation to impress fades. And what remains is a quiet sense of belonging, a rare feeling for a man who has spent decades carrying responsibilities, worries, and the silent weight of being the strong one. Her curves give him a place to rest, not just physically, but emotionally. He doesn't feel judged. He doesn't feel evaluated. He feels held. And when a man feels held, desire rises naturally, not from lust alone, but from gratitude, relief, and the comforting realization that he can finally let go of the armor he wears for the world. That moment, the moment he feels her softness against him, gives him permission to stop performing, stop pretending, and stop carrying the weight of being the steady one all the time. For the first time in a long while, he isn't a provider, a protector, or a man trying to appear strong. He's simply human, warm and vulnerable, resting in the presence of someone who accepts him without condition. This is why so many men, privately and quietly, crave the intimacy of a softer woman. Not because of fantasy, but because her softness feels like home. Once that sense of safety takes hold, another powerful reason begins to reveal itself that reaches even deeper into a man's emotional memory. Number 2. Her presence feels more real. The second secret reason men after 60 crave intimacy with chubby women is simple but profound. Her presence feels real. Men after 60 has lived through enough illusions, enough pretenses, enough polished faces, enough people trying to be something they're not. What reaches him now is authenticity. And chubby women often carry a kind of natural ease that feels honest. They aren't performing femininity, they're living it. They aren't chasing perfection, they show up as themselves. And that genuineness is magnetic to a mature man who is tired of masks. When she sits beside him, he doesn't feel tension radiating off her. He doesn't sense competition, comparison, or insecurity disguised as confidence. Instead, he feels warmth, openness, and a comfortable kind of self-acceptance that invites him to relax into himself. She laughs genuinely. She talks without measuring every word. She moves without the stiffness that comes from trying too hard. Her energy is steady, grounded, and human, something he can lean into without feeling judged or evaluated. A chubby woman often embodies a softness of spirit that matches the softness of her body. She isn't obsessed with being flawless, and that makes a man feel safe enough to be imperfect too. He doesn't have to hide his belly. He doesn't have to act younger than he is. He doesn't have to pretend he's unaffected by age. Her realness gives him permission to be real as well. That shared authenticity creates an emotional intimacy far stronger than anything purely physical. This genuine presence becomes a form of seduction he never expected. Subtle, natural, and impossible to resist. Have you ever felt how powerful real presence can be, far beyond appearances? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your story might give someone else a moment of clarity they've been needing. This kind of authenticity's also rooted in memories he's carried since the earliest years of his life, which we'll explore right this. Number 3. She awakens his deepest emotional memory. It taps into something instinctive, a memory stored not in the mind, but in the body. A man may never admit this out loud, but the warmth, softness, and gentle fullness of a chubby woman awaken an ancient sense of comfort he has carried since childhood. Not in a romantic way, but in a profoundly human way, the memory of being held, soothed, protected, and enveloped in warmth. A man at this age has spent decades being strong, responsible, and composed, distancing himself from softness because life demanded it. But when he is near a woman whose body radiates warmth, something inside him remembers what it felt like to be safe without effort. He doesn't think this consciously. He simply feels it, a quiet sense of belonging that reaches him deeper than logic ever could. Her warmth relaxes him. Her curves calm his nervous system. Her gentle touch brings him back to a place of simplicity where he didn't have to perform or prove anything. Most men never speak of this because they don't have the language for it. They just know that lying against a softer woman brings a peace that feels familiar, grounding, and strangely healing. It settles the parts of him that have been tense for years. It softens the guarded places he rarely lets anyone see. And in that softened space, desire stirs not just physical longing, but a craving for closeness, connection, and emotional safety. This is why the intimacy feels different with her. It's not driven by fantasy. It's driven by comfort. It's not about excitement. It's about being seen and soothed. She becomes a place where he can exhale, and that feeling creates a deeper, more instinctive desire than anything purely physical. From that quiet stirring of old comfort, another truth rises, tied to a man's longing to be welcomed without needing to change a single part of himself. Number 4. She accepts him as he is. Man after 60 carries a long history of being judged for his weight, his aging body, his slowing pace, his fading strength, the lines on his face, the softness around his belly. He has heard subtle criticisms, felt comparisons, and learned to hide the parts of himself he assumes no woman truly wants. But when he's with a chubby woman, something shifts inside him. Her energy, her ease, her lack of obsession with perfection signals to him that he doesn't have to apologize for being human. She doesn't flinch at the softness of his midsection. She doesn't judge the way age has shaped him. She doesn't expect him to be the man he was at 30. Instead, she welcomes him with the same warmth she gives herself, and that acceptance disarms him completely. For a man who has spent decades carrying pressure and performance, this acceptance feels almost like oxygen. It gives him permission to show up exactly as he is, without tightening his stomach, without adjusting his posture, without fearing he'll be evaluated. And in that moment, something inside him relaxes so deeply that desire emerges almost effortlessly from the space that fear once occupied. Her acceptance becomes an invitation not to perform, but to connect. Not to hide, but to open. Not to impress, but to be present. This kind of emotional acceptance is rare, especially for older men who have spent so much of their lives being told to be strong, controlled, and stoic. When he feels her softness welcoming his imperfections, he experiences a kind of freedom he hasn't felt in years, and that freedom becomes desire, true desire, the kind that rises slowly, steadily, from the comfort of being fully seen and still wanted. This is why chubby women often leave such a powerful impression on mature men. It's not just about the body, it's about the emotional message her body carries. You don't have to be anything but yourself. These moments of acceptance are rare, and they matter more than most people realize. Feel free to share this video with a friend, a sibling, or anyone who might find comfort or clarity in these reflections. Sometimes a quiet truth passed along can change the way someone sees themselves, and that soft, grounding acceptance sets the stage for the final reason reveals why intimacy with her lingers in his mind long after the moment is over. Number 5. Her intimacy feels like connection. There's a moment many older men quietly admit to themselves, the moment they realize intimacy with a chubby woman feels different in a way they can't explain. Not lighter, not heavier, just truer. With her, closeness doesn't feel like a test he has to pass or a role he's expected to perform. Instead, the whole experience carries a softness that eases the tension he's been holding for years. Her warmth, her natural ease, and the gentle sincerity in how she touches and responds create a kind of intimacy that feels deeply human rather than rehearsed. She brings a softness into the moment that makes intimacy feel human again, two people sharing closeness rather than two bodies fulfilling a script. When she touches him, it doesn't feel calculated. When she holds him, it doesn't feel conditional. When she lies beside him, it doesn't feel like she's evaluating whether he still measures up. Instead, she brings a sincerity he can feel in his bones, the kind that quiets his mind and anchors his emotions. Her body feels like invitation rather than expectation. Her breath feels like reassurance rather than demand. Her presence feels like companionship rather than comparison. For a man after 60, that is powerful. The world has already taken its toll on his confidence. His body has already changed in ways he never expected. His energy isn't what it once was. And yet, when he is with her, he feels wanted, not for what he used to be, but for who he is now. That sense of being valued, desired, and embraced without pressure turns intimacy into something so much deeper than lust. It becomes connection, belonging, closeness, the kind he fears he may never find again. And that is what stays with him long after the moment fades. The emotional warmth, the genuine presence, the comfort of knowing he doesn't have to pretend. These are the things that make a chubby woman unforgettable to him, not because she fits a fantasy, but because she gives him the one thing most men lose as they grow older: a space where desire and comfort live in the same breath. When you step back and look at these quiet truths, you begin to understand why so many older men feel drawn to chubby women in ways they rarely confess. It has never been about fantasy or surface appeal. It has always come down to warmth, presence, softness, and the rare comfort of being accepted without pressure or judgment. A man after 60 has lived through enough loneliness, enough expectations, enough years of carrying everyone else's weight. So when he meets a woman whose body feels like refuge, whose presence feels sincere, whose energy feels real, something inside him loosens. He feels seen rather than evaluated, welcomed rather than tested, desired rather than tolerated. And that emotional safety becomes desire, steady, deep, lasting. Intimacy with her lingers in his mind, not because of shape, but because of feeling. She gives him a place to rest, a place to breathe, a place to be human. That is the kind of closeness a man never forgets, no matter how old he grows. If these reflections touch something in you, you're welcome to like the video, share it with someone who might appreciate its honesty, and subscribe with notifications on so you can join me for more gentle truths each week. I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video till now, and see you next time.